Arc Dream presents Episode 3 of Hearts of Iron, a 5th edition D&D campaign set in the broken empire of swords and sorceries. We played the adventure The Sea Demon's Gold. I'm Shane Ivey, the Dungeon Master. I ran The Sea Demon's Gold on Roll20. Download it for yourself at roll20.net. The players are Mark Finn of the Monty Haul Zine as human rogue Baldo Vandalerius, Chris Spivey of Darker Hue Studios as Wood Elf Ranger Thalus Longbarrow, Aser and Tolentino of the Redacted Files podcast as human fighter Astartus, and Megan Tolentino of the Redacted Files podcast as the dwarf cleric Key. So your adventurers have been exploring the Temple of the Sea Demon. You've been following the lead of your new very muddy little mudman friend Muck, who is obsessed with finding shiny, valuable things, and so you've kind of followed him into a cavern that he said had shiny, valuable things, and it did, but they were on a giant, monstrous, undead fish thing that attacked you and wounded Baldo and Key both pretty badly. And mauled Astartus a bit before you finally tore the thing down enough that it wouldn't get up anymore. And so you come out of that. There were these weird little barb things coming out of the walls and the floor, and sinking into their flesh. But you tore all that crap off. Thalus and Astartus. You've had a chance to get up and test your wounds and decide you're okay to press on for now. Muck out into the expanding caverns. And so in the cavern you're in now, you've left one tunnel behind you, and there are three ahead of you in this kind of grotesque, dripping, pulsing cave. One to your left, one to your right, and one directly ahead of you. And it looks like the one to your right it looks more open than the others, as if it's a wider space or a deeper space or something like that. And Muck, looking around, Muck looks around and sniffs and says and like points to the tunnel to the right and says big, good, big, pretty that way.
There's a part of me, perhaps the part that's left on the floor of the cave where we just almost got killed. There's a part of me that thinks if he's pointing at the pretty cave, we should maybe go another direction.
Well, maybe we should just let him take the lead.
Okay, but we know what his singular motivation is. I'm okay with it if you are.
I mean, it's our motivation too.
You know what? You're right. What am I doing? Of course. Muck, shiny, and I point to the cave.
Yeah, he looks down there with his gleaming eyes and looks back up at you and nods his head enthusiastically.
I'm going to try to motion with my hands in a forward way, like a scoot motion, like, go ahead, lead the way. Mm-hmm. Go on, Muck.
Okay.
We'll follow.
Yeah, he sort of steps and flaps ahead 5 or 10 feet toward the opening of the tunnel and then looks back and nods.
Okay. In for a penny, in for a pound. Let's see where this goes.
I will lead our group at a cautious remove from Muck.
Okay.
Since, we don't have any orphans around.
Yeah. All right. So he kind of steps and flaps ahead and down this tunnel, and it kind of goes steeply and unevenly down a long slope until it opens up into a broader cave. And as it starts to kind of level off, he steps around and steps out of the way, and you can see that in this deep cavity, There are thorny growths coming out of the walls and the ceiling. And at the far end is the withered husk of a warrior from some forgotten land that none of you recognize. But even from where you are, the gold inlaid in his finely wrought helmet gleams.
Okay. All right.
That's about 30 feet away, just for reference.
Let's think about this.
Yeah, part of me says we're not falling for that again, but we're totally falling for it again.
We sort of are. All right. Does this does not look like the fish man? Yes.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't look anything like the fish.
But
this looks like it was a human, but has been dead for a long time. And Baldo, it looks like you're about you're about 10 feet away from where the body is, where you are there.
All right.
And you're close enough that you can see, and actually, now that I think about it, Key and Thalus could see this from farther out with dark vision, but you can tell that the body has these has strange markings on the exposed flesh, like wounds or some kind of damage.
Does it look?
If you're close enough to see, or you have good enough vision, you could try like a nature or intelligence nature or a wisdom healing roll if you like to discern a little more.
Okay. I have
17.
There you go.
So, for Thalus, yeah. Thalus, you can tell from way back there as you first lay eyes on the thing, because your vision is so much better than these poor mortals, that the markings look like they look like sucker marks made with fangs.
That seems fine.
Can I make a survival roll to try to figure out what it is?
Yeah, it'd have to be really high, but yeah, you don't recognize it.
Does this count as a coast, and I can use my better roll? Mind you, my 16 still isn't groundbreaking.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it certainly would. I mean, with the 16, you're still not going to recognize the whatever caused this. I mean, you suspect some kind of creature of the deeps or other, but that probably wouldn't tell you anything new.
Yes.
Wait 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Figured out what it is.
Oh, I'm all ears.
It's a creature from the deep.
I see. Does the corpse look fresh, or is this an old, partially desiccated thing?
Well, as you're closer, it's really hard to tell. I mean, it's like it's certainly desiccated, but it's so moist. The whole environment here is so moist and humid that it's not like things are going to get mummified one way or another.
Gotcha. Okay. But it is a corpse that's been here for more than a week. Okay. All right. I look back at the party and say, this doesn't appear to be trapped.
Shane.
Yes.
I shoot the corpse.
Okay. You let fly with an arrow. Yeah, you let fly with an arrow, and it plunges into the body, and nothing happens.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Thalus, did you mark off? You lost, as a rule of thumb, you recover half the arrows that you shoot in combat. Yeah.
Good to know.
All right. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Baldo. You were saying something.
I am going to move to within 5 feet of the monster, and I will.
Oh, that's when something falls on you.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I drew him out for you guys.
Thank you.
Outstanding. All right, so I don't have a reaction, do I?
No. Well, you're gonna. What I'm gonna do is roll, make a stealth roll for this creature, and then compare that to your passive perception.
Very good.
And that'll determine whether you're surprised, because obviously you were all alert and expecting something like this to happen.
Right.
All right. So his stealth is a lowly 8, so that's not high enough to surprise any of you. So
Excellent.
None of you have to deal with a surprise round, which means we can cut straight to the initiative rolls. So everybody roll that, and the thing that has come off of the wall where it was indistinguishable from your surroundings is this squid-like shape that comes at you all expanded, and you can see Baldo in that split second as it descends upon you, that its inner surface and the mouth at the center of it are lined with sharp fangs.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, thankfully, I rolled a high initiative.
All right. We got 20 and 20, and let's see. Okay, it doesn't put there. Put him in here manually. And then we need rolls for Key and Astartus. Okay, so Baldo, you get the first. You react swiftly.
All right.
Your lightning reflexes kick in.
Well, I am going to use dodge. That is my maneuver. I'm going to use dodge and use it.
Okay. How does that work?
Dodge.
Like, is that a rogue thing, or just
it's
is that the standard combat action?
Standard combat action, yeah.
And then Thalus, I'm going to assume you're going to charge in sword swinging. No.
Whew. Well, laugh. Thank you. How solid does the roof look?
In bits and pieces, some of it looks good and solid and chitinous and hard.
Look loose enough that if I were to hit it with a couple of arrows, it might fall on top of the creature.
Maybe, yeah. There are a couple of parts that you think you could try that.
I'm gonna try that because I think that'll be more effective than me shooting it.
Okay, but any attack. Okay, so dodging any attack against you gets disadvantage, and you make saving throws with advantage.
Yes.
Okay, but again, yeah, So your dodging is your action. You can also do something minor, or you can move around if you want to brave an opportunity attack. You tell me. Anything else going on?
No, my plan is just to not die right now. So I'm going to activate dodge and hope that he can't hit me with a disadvantage. That's my plan.
Okay. And you have your sword out?
Sword is out, and I am on a wing and a prayer at this point.
Okay. So, Thalus, describe what you're trying to do here. You will need to move forward a little bit to get better view of the monster, a more direct view of the monster. So, and remember to not share a space on that grid with somebody else.
All right.
Yeah, that works.
So basically, I'm aiming at one of the a larger loose spot on the roof to try to get it to collapse on top of it and not Baldo.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So what I'll do is I'll treat that as attacking something that has a higher armor class, but it'll do better damage than usual. Like, what do you usually do with your bow? A D8 plus
3.
Top plus 3. So, So let's say, so roll to hit a 16, and if you succeed, then it'll do D12 damage. D12 plus. What's your use your intelligence modifier for this plus that.
1.
Okay, so make it so like a D12 plus 1 damage instead.
Then I will just shoot it because mathematically that would be silly of me to do.
Oh, okay.
Because I can do 11 damage compared to the 13, and I have a higher average to do more damage with my bow. So I'll just shoot it.
Okay.
18 and 11.
All right, 18 hits it. An arrow whips by poor Baldo.
Duck.
And
you love doing that, don't you? You just love doing that.
And plunges into the
old.
side of this into this thing's leathery hide.
Oh, awesome.
And okay, Astartus, what about you? Baldo, Thalus just jogged up next to you and loosed an arrow into the thing.
You're like his range marker. I mean, he knows like windage and stuff. All right. Do I have clear line of sight with it?
Oh yeah,
okay,
yeah. It's about from where you are. It's like maybe 15 feet ahead of you, and where it's crashing down on Baldo and is sort of crashed down next to him and is scuttling after him.
All right. Well, I would like to keep it at least 15 feet away from me, so I will fire my crossbow at it.
Okay. All right. Go for it. That's an 11. Okay. So the 11 is like you have to change. That's going to barely miss because it's in combat with Baldo. You have to like change your aim just at the last second because you knew you were about to let fly right into Baldo's back, and instead the bolt flies too high.
Sorry, Baldo.
And then it's the turn of the vampire mantle. So Baldo, it's rolling at disadvantage with you. Right. So he rolls either a 12 or a 16. So we'll go with the 12.
Yes.
Because you're dodging. All right. So you barely managed to avoid getting suckered and fanged.
Dodge, thrust, Sperry.
And Key, it is your turn.
All right. I am going to use Sacred Flame, which is a DC 13 for the vampire
All right.
mantle, which I actually kind of want to adopt now as a familiar because that sounds awesome.
Is this a dex save?
What is my saving? It just says spell save DC 15. I cast using wisdom. Oh yes, it's dex.
Okay. All right. His dex save is a 10.
All right.
Which fails, so you splatter him with holy light.
All right.
And what was the damage result on that? I've got a different screen open.
6.
6. All right. Okay. And so is this what is your radiant attack look like and sound like and smell like?
So it's kind of a oily, dark light that burns towards it. I might smell a little bit like incense that we would burn at the temple.
All right, so it lands hissing into this thing, and with a like a purplish glow, like a dark light. Is that what you have in mind?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So it kind of recoils hissing, and then man, it's already in bad shape. Poor old vampire mantle. Baldo, it's your turn.
Okay. I have seen the error of my ways. Everybody's got a ranged attack but me. And
I think we've all heard that before, probably from Baldo.
Never again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reactivate dodge for this round.
Okay.
And can I do a half move away?
He would get an opportunity attack on you.
Okay.
The only way to avoid that is using the disengage action.
Then I'll stay here and keep an eye on this for disadvantage. I think disadvantage is going to do better for me in this case. So
okay, sure.
I'm going to keep tying him up and hoping that would one of you please shoot this thing again?
We're trying.
Right. And Thalus,
you
have an opportunity to shoot this thing again.
Ooh.
That is a 13, which is just barely going to hit. I think it's a +2 to its armor class with Baldo being in the way, but his armor class is pretty lame. So a 13 hurts him.
7 points of damage.
All right. Another arrow sinks into the thing, and it's looking pretty sluggish now. and Muck is going to fly over here to where the body is and start playing with the helmet and seeing if it will fit inside his mouth.
No.
And
I will shoot Muck.
And Astartus, it's your turn.
I will shoot the primary adversary right now, the one threatening our lives rather than our livelihood. And I know that's a close run thing sometimes, but right now I think Baldo would appreciate it if I shot the thing trying to eat him.
Please do.
Oh, look at that, 22. Okay, so you plunge a bolt right into the thing, and it like, you know, it's bleeding this nasty ichor all over the place, and it like recoils and slithers and starts climbing up the wall and into gaps between the wall's carapace to try to escape. You know what, Baldo? That's going to give you an attack of opportunity because it's kind of a pain for it to get out, so it has to use its action to dash as well as to move normally to escape.
I am so excited.
And it actually just like flaps up in the air and moves way faster once it's in the air and starts flapping its way up, trying to get to where it can escape, but it has to start climbing out.
All right.
So you can make that attack if you like.
All right, and that's a normal attack, not an advantage, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Oh, dang. Yeah, okay, so you...
Not so fast! Ha!
Yeah, you pin the thing to the wall, and it rapidly, like, lets out this hideous hissing screech and then shudders and is still.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Combat that works.
And it looks like Muck over there is he's kind of sad to realize that he's far too small to eat this beautiful helmet with its fine gold inlay.
All right.
For lack of trying, but you know, he looks grievously disappointed.
Okay. I want to head over to where he is and make sure he hasn't put anything else in his mouth. I feel like I'm babysitting a toddler, you know?
No, it looks like it was just the helmet.
Okay.
Was all this poor guy was left with.
Does somebody have a bag they can put this in? I don't want anybody putting this on their head because he can fly.
I believe Thalus is our bank.
I am. I've got it.
All right. I want to take the helmet off of the corpse's head.
Oh, pretty.
And toss it over to Thalus.
All right.
You want to give him a finder's fee?
No.
Not yet.
Continued existence.
Yes. At this, there's a 50-50 shot. We're going to pinata him at the end of this mission just to see what falls out. So I just assume we, promise a fee for, future services.
I'm going to put that at 90-10.
Well, as long as he keeps leading us to the good stuff. And, I guess it would be nice for a heads up, shiny, but oh yeah, ugly, or oh yeah, creepy.
Muck kind of looks up at you and looks at the others and nods his head as if, that sounds like it might be a good idea.
I point to Muck and then point to the dead thing, the vampiric mantle, and say, Muck, what's this?
He shrugs his shoulders.
Okay, well, it was worth a shot. Okay.
I thought he was going to say not pretty.
Well, he is a man of simple pleasures.
Okay. Well, he flaps over to where Thalus is, and sort of sniffs around to see where the helmet disappeared to.
While he's doing that, I'm going to check out the rest of the corpse and see if I can dislodge anything else off of this poor warrior.
Yeah. It looks like everything rings, armbands, the usual valuables that that a warrior of his presumed station would go around with is long gone.
Down Muck's gullet.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, we may have us a walking backpack here. So, okay. Muck, more shiny?
Oh, yes. So he like flaps forward and back up the way you came to that central cavern.
All right, Muck, which way?
So he looks around and kind of heads to the left to a wider another cavern, and he kind of sniffs and makes this good displeased face. He says, well, pretty's down there, but
All right, good to know. Okay. So, do we want to give this a shot? This may be we may be heading towards the alleged demon. And by the way, not entirely convinced that's a real thing.
I'm pretty sure it's real.
Best to act as though it is.
Oh, ye of little faith. All right.
I think she has a lot of faith.
It's too much. It's too much faith. Well,
right? I want for linguistic precision. Let's move on.
Do we want to follow Muck's lead, or do we want to go to the big cavern here to the right?
Why don't we just try this one? Just shake all of the trees and see what falls out.
Okay.
You're gonna put that on my gravestone, aren't you?
That's not a bad epitaph.
Took all the trees and it fell out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we do the big cavern first, and then where Muck is wanting us to go.
Sure.
Can I cast detect evil and good in the cavern, just to double check?
Yeah, let me call that up and review what that does these days specifically. Okay, for the duration, if there's an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. And if there's a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. That is a first level spell, so it uses one of your first level spell slots.
I have attunement, which means I can use it without expending a spell slot.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
All right then. Cool. So
I guess I'll move up closer to.
You may need to take a point on this.
I don't know about taking point. I'm gonna move up to the closer the evil way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so what you feel is you feel this kind of back of your head creepy sensation of profound evil faintly, like everywhere.
Not surprising.
But going this far, going to the top of the slope that leads down into that next cavern ahead of you, you don't sniff out anything that's concrete.
I mean, I don't feel anything is super evil down here, but it could just be deeper than I think, or good at hiding.
Please humor me and go stand in the doorway of the other cave.
I'll go down a little bit.
All right. I will move forward, screening you.
Oh no! So, the other one, the cave to the topmost cave.
Oh,
over here.
Okay.
There you go. So yeah, Key, where you are there, the tunnel that you go into there slopes down and then falls away. So you're overlooking the rest of that wide cavern from about 10 feet up, and it's like a lot of the like everywhere that you've seen here. It's just sort of this uneven, broad surface. It's a lot wider than you're used to here, but you don't see anything moving around down there. You don't see anything that looks valuable. It just looks like more of this disgusting, half-alive temple.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think we should go down the creepy one I checked out first.
All right.
Okay.
If, someone else wants to lead the way.
I'm going.
Perfect.
All right. So Astartus, you start stepping gingerly down that slope as the tunnel like narrows, and it's a very steep, slippery descent, and but not for long, only for 10 or 15 feet, and it starts to as it starts to level off again, right? And so it widens out into a cave that's about 15 feet across, 25 feet long, and you're again, everything, the footing is very uneven, and at the far end of it, at the opposite end, you can see it's darker where another one of these tunnels leads out further out of sight. So Astartus, describe for us what you're doing.
I am following my usual I've been left to lead the way stance of creeping slowly ahead behind the shield, poking at anything vaguely threatening with the spear.
Okay, let's do a intelligence investigation roll for Astartus.
Ooh, that's not going to go well.
Oh, look at that!
Pretty
That's
good.
a massive roll. All right, so Astartus, as you're stepping forward, I guess let's see. Move Astartus. Right now, Astartus is just still at the very entrance of that cavern. So, move him forward. Say, to the middle. There you go. And Astartus, as you're creeping forward, watching, your vigilance pays off, because you see in the gaps between the stuff of the temple floor and the ceiling, which is often quite high, but sometimes descends again in unexpected weird ways, so it's barely above you. You see that where you're about to walk into is this whole patch of these long black spines that have begun to extend, extrude, and seem to be pointing towards you.
Back. Thalus, shoot it. Shoot it. Shoot it.
I shoot it.
Okay. You put an arrow into the middle of the spines, and you're a good shot, so I'll assume one of them breaks off at the base and flops down, and the others just sort of continue to seek around for the nearest warm blood, which is Baldo and Astartus. But it's not. You realize that it's not that patch is not covering the entirety of the cave. So, having seen it, it looks like if you kind of creep around the edges of the cave, you can probably stay out of their reach.
This is why I have a stealth roll. So I'm gonna try to stealth my way around these chuckleheads.
Okay.
And because my skulker is a thing, well, it doesn't really matter. Dim light doesn't impose disadvantage on my wisdom checks, relying on sight. That doesn't really matter. So, okay. So stealth McGee.
Yeah, 23 is great. All right.
Boom.
So yeah, you very nimbly and silently ease your way around as far as you'd like to go around the sides of that cave.
I'll just get to the mouth of the tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about the rest of you?
You think you could burn it?
Can I cast Sacred Flame at it and see if it seems affected?
Wait.
Yeah, that's just a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can let fly, and you burn away a couple of the spines that fall down.
I guess I'll sneak around the edge. Well, not really sneak.
Okay.
Maneuver around the edge.
All right.
All right, I guess I've been chastened. I'll go too.
All right. So right now Baldo is at the far end of this little cavern.
I'm swinging the chicken on the end of the stick as a signifier to where I am.
I keep forgetting about the chicken. So yeah, having crept around silently all that direction, now it wakes up and starts squawking loudly as you swing it around.
Does the squawking make the tentacles move in a different direction?
No, with Astartus and Key creeping around the edges, they're more interested in Astartus and Key.
Got it. Okay.
But they can't quite reach. So so we can move. You can move Astartus and Key's tokens to wherever they are in relation to Baldo at the opening of that next little tunnel, and Thalus, you as well.
I'm gonna sneak over too. I'm gonna stop and have a dance party in the middle of the room.
Well, you can still follow the edges of the cavern, but as you're traipsing along, the spines somehow or another seem to sense you and reach out for you, but you can keep out of their distance, you can keep out of their reach, having realized that they're there. And Baldo, you're at the entry to that next tunnel. It kind of leads directly ahead and then hooks to the left, out of sight.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and cautiously. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and use my stealth. I don't know why I haven't been stealthing through here. But I'm going to be stealthy. I'm going to start being a smart thief instead of a chucklehead.
Okay. Roll with disadvantage, carrying a live chicken around with you.
Yes, I understand that the chicken is an issue.
So you get move yourself. Move yourself 5, 10, 15, 3 squares ahead to get a good view of what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking over another smaller cavern, and you're looking at it from a height of about 20 feet. Like you would have to clamber down or climb down on rope or something to get down safely.
Okay.
But you can see that there's a crude coral carving of some shapeless mass of spines and tentacles in the center of the cavern, and it's surrounded by old bones and gold.
Guys?
Glints of, I shouldn't overstate that. You can see glints of gold among the bones, but it's not like a, massive mountain of gold.
All right, we've got a thing here, folks. It's a thing. It's definitely a thing.
Are we talking like a good thing or a carnivorous thing?
I think everything here is a bad thing until we find out otherwise. I'm looking
suddenly the chicken erupts in some kind of chicken panic, and Baldo, you're at the edge of that short cliff, and requires you to make an acrobatics roll not get so startled that you tumble.
Very good. Acrobatics. Don't fail me now.
Oh, look at that. All right.
Nice.
23. So yeah. So you manage, you sort of lurch instinctively away from the fall instead of towards it as the chicken starts flapping and screaming.
All right. I'm going to use investigation to see if something is coming at us.
Okay. Yeah, you can give it a shot.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah, 16 is pretty good. You think you see around the walls of this other cavern below you, you think you see like hints of movement here and there.
Okay. All right, everybody, back up. Let's go back into the back into the main cave here. if somebody else
black spines reach out for you.
All right, come here. We have there's movement in the cave. I think something's down there. I can't see exactly what it is. Does somebody with better eyesight, I look pointedly at the elf, want to go and check it out?
Sure.
Awesome.
What do I see?
All right. So let's see. Move yourself around to where it opens up, and you're sort of standing over that ledge, looking in. So you can roll. Roll either investigation or perception, having had it pointed out.
6 or 8?
6. No, it's gone quite still now. Whatever Baldo thought he saw, you're not seeing.
How far down is it?
About 20 feet.
I'll secure a rope here and slide down.
Okay. All right. So after a couple of minutes, you got that secured, and you slide down. So you're near the that gruesome coral carving or statue, or whatever you want to call it. You start it in where you're kind of stepping in among bones, and you see a gold piece here and there around the statue.
Anything else? Can I use survival to try to notice any sort of tracks or anything else down here?
Yeah, give it a shot.
8.
Yeah, no,
Hidden.
It's everything's. I mean, the whole environment is so confusing and kind of overwhelming, to your senses.
Can I use history to figure out anything about the statue or the culture?
Yeah, go for it.
17.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a statue that would have come from a culture. It doesn't look like it naturally grew that way. It's too detailed, but it's just nothing but tentacles and spines and weird masses in between.
Can I take a look and roll religion?
Yeah, you can head up to the top of that ledge and get a good look and give it a think.
Never mind.
I mean, with a natural 1. In fact, you're pretty certain that the inside of that statue is where the real treasure is going to be.
Well, I am incredibly greedy, so.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go and see what's down there.
Astartus, okay. This is not good. We have to go.
Key. So you can climb down the rope and head over to where near where Thalus is at the base of that grotesque statue.
All right, and then
What are you doing? What are you
hit
doing
it with
there?
my hammer.
Okay, and Thalus, what are you up to?
I'm moving further back and I have my bow ready.
Okay. All right. So Key, you smash your hammer into this coral, and a large chunk of it shatters away, and it kind of reveals the twisting, growing heart of the thing. You don't see any gold. You can take inspiration for good role playing. But as you do,
is this the part where you want me to say I shoot it? Because I do.
Yeah. As you do, the some of the bones start to stand, and
14.
there are two. There's a pair of old barnacle encrusted skeletons that clamber forward at Key, wielding their own jagged, broken off bones like daggers. Let's do initiatives for everybody here.
Right.
At least I'm ahead of someone this time.
Okay, so we have Astartus at a mighty 18, Baldo at 23, Key at 9, Thalus at 8, and the skeletons at 9. All right. So Baldo, as the two skeletons take shape and start to step towards Key menacingly, You're the first to react. You're still on the ledge overlooking the cave.
Right.
Astartus is behind you a bit. Thalus is almost directly below you. You have a good view of the whole situation.
All right. I'm going to shout back up the pathway, Astartus, we need you. And then I'm going to use acrobatics to navigate the rope and get down without using just my regular movement.
Okay. Yeah, give it a shot.
Okay.
I'll just treat that as normal movement instead of difficult terrain if it works, which it does.
Perfect.
So we'll call that 20, 25, 20, basically 25 feet of movement will get you, I'm just going to move you, we'll get you right next to Thalus. And then you can move another square as part of your movement if you want, and still have an action.
All right. I can't get close enough to attack them. So what I'm going to do is pull out my crowbar from my backpack, and I'm going to use that as an improvised weapon.
Okay.
Will you give me a D4 for that?
Sure. Yeah.
Great. I will, and I'm just going to ready that weapon and hold my action in case anything comes close to me.
Okay. So what do you? What's your held action involve?
An attack.
Okay. And is that and what's going to trigger that happening?
Anybody coming? Well, you said I get 5 more feet. If I move to right here, no, I don't want to block. If I move to right there, I can
just another.
Yeah,
just forward.
Just one more forward. I can say, "Come on!" and brandish the crowbar.
Yeah, they're only a couple of yards away from you from there.
Yeah, and then this way, I'm hoping to draw a little bit off of key.
All right, so held action is if one of them comes within reach,
then
you're going to smash it with the crowbar.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, and let's see, Astartus, you're up in the previous cave, sort of at the beginning of that tunnel, and you hear all the shouting and sudden alarms going off ahead of you. At the end of this 5, 10, 15, 20 foot tunnel ahead of you is where it drops off into that lower down cave.
All right, I guess I will move up to the edge.
Okay.
And be ready to provide fire support next turn.
Yeah, you can see. Well, okay. So from where you are, you can tell that there's movement going on behind that big ugly, grotesque statue, but you don't they would if you were to shoot at one of the skeletons now, they would get a pretty substantial armor class bonus. So you can either shoot now with that in mind, or you could hold an action and shoot if one of them comes within a better view.
I think I will do that. I will just hold my action.
Okay. Can you see the blue square that I just drew?
Yes.
Okay. That more or less represents the nasty statue.
Oh, very good.
Okay. And okay, that was Astartus. So the skeletons now. One of them comes charging to the right of that of the statue, attempting to stab at Baldo directly in front of it, which means Astartus, you can take your shot as it comes within better view, and then Baldo, you can make your held action to attack as well.
Okay.
Is that a D20 for Baldo?
Yes.
All right. And so that's a 16. You don't have a strength modifier, do you?
I have a +0 for strength.
Right. Okay. 16 is good enough. And so roll the damage for that.
All right.
D4, which means it takes... So you smash into the thing and knock a couple of its bony skeleton, knock one of its arms off and smash through its shoulder.
Okay.
And Astartus, what about your shot? Do you want to roll for that, Key? Oh, that'll do it. And yeah, okay. So yeah, Astartus's crossbow twangs, and the bolt thumps right through the skeleton's skull, shattering it and smashing bony, barnacle-y bone fragments all over the place. And the thing drops before it can do any harm to anybody. The other one, coming at Key, comes around the statue and lunges out with a sharp shard of bone. With an attack roll, total of 20 is going to hit, and that's going to be 5 points of damage stabbing into poor Key.
I have 1 hit point left. It wiped out all my temporary ones.
Oh, right. Okay. So yeah, you barely managed to recoil away and not have this thing plunged into your innards.
Oh.
And then it's your turn, Key.
All right, I'm going to stumble backwards a few steps and cast Sacred Flame again.
Okay. Yeah, you can cast. Now, if you want to move, it's going to be problematic because, again, attack of opportunity. But if you're stumbling back just as a descriptive thing, then that's totally fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I just want to make real clear what's going to happen here. Yeah. Yeah, go for it. He needs to make a dex save, right?
Oops, I clicked that twice, but yes.
Okay, so what we got here? So that succeeds. So is that half damage or no damage?
No damage.
Okay, so you kind of say a quick prayer, and the light kind of glows feebly, but doesn't really take shape and harm this undead thing. But your detect evil sense is definitely working now, by the way.
Okay, great. There's something bad here.
Let's see, Thalus, you're at the base of that overhang, a bit removed from, not a lot removed, but you can see the skeleton coming after Key 10, 15 feet ahead of you around the side of that evil-looking, now broken statue.
Shoot it.
All right. Let's see. Oh, you rolled earlier. You want to just use that roll since?
I'll take that 22.
Okay. All right.
6 damage.
Okay, so you put your arrow somewhere. I don't know. You describe it. It doesn't quite disable the thing.
Basically aiming for the arm, the bony arm, so it doesn't hit Key as well next time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you knock part of its, knock through the bones holding its bony hand on, and it falls, and its shard of bone falls out of its grasp. And then Baldo, it is your turn again.
All right. I would like to use acrobatics to maneuver around the remnants of the horrible statue. What I'd like to do is I'd like to use acrobatics to get a height over the skeleton and jump down on top of it. Could I tumble up towards that and try that?
Yeah, if you make a good acrobatics roll, you could do that, and I'd give you advantage on the attack roll in that case.
Very good. All right.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right.
Outstanding.
So leaping up and clambering, and then down upon the thing with your crowbar, and that is a pair of natural 20s. Well done with your advantage. And all right, so roll 2d4.
Oh, it's just
for the damage roll.
It's nice to not suck for once.
All right, and okay, yeah. Describe how you destroy this thing.
I caper across the ruined coral obscenity and vault over the remnants and leap down on top of the skeleton as it's scrambling for the bone shard that it was going to use to stab my friend, and come down on it like a pile driver, feet first, and plant the crowbar in its skull and shatter it into 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so it crumbles down.
Oh no, it's gonna Voltron.
Form of an even bigger skeleton.
Don't give him any ideas.
And
flavor effect. He doesn't need any ideas.
God, I love fighting skeletons. That's just I'm telling you, that is such a Ray Harryhausen, Jason of the Argonauts thing for me. It is just one of my favorite things in the world to do.
So Baldo is so as everybody sees Baldo smash that skeleton into pieces, and then you realize, Astartus, you're still overhead compared to everyone else, looking over from that from the ledge, and you can see that from the walls, mainly from the wall to the left, near it's nearest to Thalus and the remains of the skeleton that you shot. You can see these crustacean-looking spider things crawling out of the gaps in the wall, drawn to Thalus. Actually, he's the nearest to it.
Thalus, you have creatures coming towards you. You might want to retreat.
And Astartus, it's your turn, so you can take an action, move, whatever you like to do.
I think I like it back here. I now appreciate why Thalus likes it back here. You got room to maneuver. Things have to work to get at you. It's great. I will take a shot.
Okay, and that's an 18. All right, so your bolt slams into the. Let's say we need a damage roll on that as well. But your bolt slams into the midst of these nasty beasts, and then even more clamber out where those came from.
So are we talking innumerable hordes or countable hordes?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you're not going to count them right now because they're just scuttling around all over the place. I don't know if I'd call it innumerable, though.
Okay.
Well, are we talking like a small blanket or a wall of them?
Oh, somewhere in between, because it's not like they're not really spider sized, normal spiders. Each of these things is about, I don't know, maybe like a foot across.
Okay.
Plus it's enormously long, daddy long leg looking crab legs.
All right.
And hold on, Astartus just acted, so that means it's their turn. But they like swarm out, some of them on the ceiling, some of them along the walls, some of them along the floor, and they come at Thalus as the nearest source of warm, delicious living blood. Oh, in fact, they can occupy Thalus's space, so they will.
Oh no!
All around there, all around you. And let's see, that's. But Thalus, you managed to sort of swat them away and not get swarmed and eaten for now. So, Key, it's your turn.
I don't want to go near them because I am not doing great, but I will cast Sacred Flame.
Okay. All right. And they need to roll a dex save, is that right?
Yeah.
So they rolled a 19, which succeeds. So your prayers seem to be too feeble to evoke the power of God. And Thalus,
I'm going to use
not to get
acrobatics.
swarmed by things.
I'm going to use acrobatics to Wesley up that rope.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's fine. So just to make it clear, to get out without getting chewed up as an attack of opportunity, you need to use disengage as your action. And then with that, so is that what you want to do, or do you want to take the risk and then be able to shoot at them after you?
What's the difference?
Well, if you use disengage as your action instead of the attack action, then you can clamber up the rope, and with a successful acrobatics roll, you can get all the way up the rope to the top of the ledge there as your movement for the turn. But you wouldn't have an action left over to attack with this round.
Use my primary action disengage and my move action to move.
Yes.
Otherwise, I could use my move action, risking an attack of opportunity, but still attack or do something else.
Yes.
I will scarp her to safety.
All right. So, yeah, you can move yourself up there next to Astartus. And Astartus, you see Thalus come clambering up out of the midst of all those horrible things without somehow not having them attached to him and feeding. And that's the end of that round. So at the top of the next round, Baldo, you hear the scuttling and you hear Thalus. Do you make any interesting noises as you go scarpering away?
Nope. Much like my conversation, I am mostly quiet.
All right, but Baldo, you have you're behind that statue, but you have a pretty good idea what's going on.
All right. So here's my cunning plan. This is a plan so cunning you could pin a tail on it and call it a weasel. I'm going to take the chicken on the pole, and I'm going to wave the chicken this direction here.
Which direction? Like to get their attention where you are?
Yes, to try and get their attention. And I'm gonna bang the cage on the ground and get the chicken all riled up.
Oh yeah. No, the chicken makes a lot of terrified noises and stares at you with a sense of palpable betrayal.
Hey, I got this. And so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to lure the spiders towards the chicken, and then once they're headed this direction, I am going to help assist Key on the other side, and we're going to run for the rope. So the old switcheroo. Yeah.
All right. So we'll call. So what we can do in rules terms is call that a held action, wherein your action will be to dash, which is to move 30 feet, and the trigger for that is the spiders come around the wrong side of the statue, distracted by the chicken, so you don't get attacked by them.
So we're going to let my waving and banging of the cage be a bonus action in this regard?
Well, that's what you're doing now. I mean, you can do things like that as just sort of doing stuff without it being an official action, as long as it's not too involved.
I accept your decision.
But you're not moving yet, right?
No, that's right. I'm waiting. It's a game of we're playing a game of chicken.
Yeah,
with a chicken.
Yeah. All right. And Astartus up at the top. The sea spiders are. Some of them are clambering up after Thalus, or coming up around the ceiling near where you and Thalus are. Others are seem to be distracted by all the chicken noises on the other side of the cavern. What do you do?
All right, thanks for that, Baldo. As soon as you said somewhere heading up toward the ceiling, I became somewhat more concerned, and I will engage those first as they pose a threat to me.
Okay.
And how can I provide effective fire support to my comrades if I am, slain?
Sure. Yeah, that's a valid point. All right. Is this a sword thing or a spear thing or what?
I'll continue to work with the crossbow.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you can roll that. You're gonna roll at disadvantage with the crossbow, unfortunately, because they're kind of the bulk of them are right up close to you. And your position is a little awkward.
I'm sorry. I thought they were still a little farther away.
Right.
In that case, I'll go with the spear.
Okay. All right. Down goes the crossbow. Up comes the spear, and that is a hit for 8 points of damage. Yeah. So you start stabbing into the nearest of these nasty things as they are scuttling closer to you. And
making a kebab.
Yeah. Now it's their turn. So I'll tell you what, Baldo, this, I feel like I'm going to use, let's do this. Let's make this a performance roll. We never had a good time to use performance. This feels like a performance thing.
Well, I don't have anything other than the +1 charisma. So we'll just roll that and see what we get.
Sure. That's not great.
No.
Okay, so I'll tell you what happens. They don't all charge across. the cave en masse, but they're distracted enough that their attacks this round are going to be at disadvantage. And what I'm going to do now is, I'll tell you what, Astartus and Thalus, both of you roll a d12, and whoever rolls the lowest is gonna get eaten up.
2.
We got a strong contender with the 2 for Thalus. There we go. All right, so up they come, pursuing Thalus.
They must also eat gold.
Yeah, biting and biting. So Thalus, they start trying to chew on you, and they rolled really well. So the lower roll is a 17, which is going to hit your armor class, I'm afraid. And they start chewing and chewing and chewing and slurping down blood. You making any noise yet?
Mild discomfort.
Okay, so it's 11 hit points of damage worth of mild discomfort. And
there will now be one singular howl of pain.
Yeah, and lose a point of strength temporarily as the blood rushes out of you and into these horrible things.
Wow.
And Key, down there in the cavern, suddenly you're the safe one.
Phew. Can I hit them with Sacred Flame from down here?
Oh yeah. They're kind of all around, swarming all over poor Thalus and around Astartus's feet. So they'll get a bonus to their saving throw because your friends are all there, but you can certainly target them. Is that what you do?
Yes.
All right. So that's going to be a total of a 15 saving throw for them with a good roll.
Jerks.
All right. And so your radiant, dark radiance kind of erupts around, but you have to be wary not to burn up poor Thalus there.
Yeah, it was like a zigzag bolt.
Yeah. So do you have any movement you're doing this round, or are you staying put?
I'm staying put.
Okay. And Thalus, it's your turn. Barely hanging on.
How many are there?
Sudden. Not as many as there were. There's dead ones around, but they're still feeding on you.
I will. You know what? I think I've got oil. I will set myself on fire.
Oh,
wow.
Hope you have a heal spell, cleric.
Let's see. You know what, Thalus, make a wisdom saving throw at a pretty good one. If you roll a really good wisdom saving throw, I'll let you have the discipline to do that.
Well,
No, come on. Setting yourself on fire, come on, man. Who does that? The thought passes through, but you're just not going to be able to steel yourself that hard.
I will now do the exact opposite of what I did last round.
Uh-huh.
Grab the rope and acrobat out away from them.
Right,
Yes.
Okay. All right,
I think
let's
the
see
fire thing was cooler, though.
it. Yeah.
I think I'm out of all my higher level spell slots, so.
Sorry, 17.
Yeah, that's definitely good enough. Okay, yeah, you tumble off of that ledge and catch yourself on the rope and hit the ground running and get away from them, the blood still pouring out. And at the top of the next round, it is Baldo's turn.
Okay. I see what you're doing here, and I like it. I am going to step this way, and I am going to shout to Astartus, "Into the cave with us! Come on!" And I am going to ready a flask. I have 1 flask of oil left that I am going to grenade at the spider swarm when they appear on the ledge again.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We can make that a held action for you. And Astartus, that brings it to your turn. You see Baldo come around the opposite side of that ugly statue from where Key and now Thalus are, and you hear him say all that. And you've got spiders, some of which were attached to Thalus when he went swinging away and fell off of him, and the bulk of them are kind of scuttling around right next to where you are, looking for a new source of blood.
Hauling ass.
Okay. So does that mean down the
rope?
Disengaging and down the rope and away?
Yes.
Okay. So here's your options, right? You can going down the rope is 20 feet, so that's going to be you'll be able to get most of the way down the rope if you don't attempt an acrobatics roll. If you attempt an acrobatics roll and you succeed, you'll get all the way down the rope and another 10 feet beyond that and be in amongst your friends. But if you go down the rope and you attempt an acrobatics roll and you fail, then you'll fall down and take some damage.
I can take some damage. Let's go for the acrobatics roll.
All right, let's see it. Natural 1. So perfect. I was gonna make you only take a D6 for falling 10 feet, halfway down, but a natural 1. Yeah, you aim to grab that rope and swing down all swashbucklery like Thalus just did, and you miss the rope entirely and go plunging.
Oh boy.
So that is 6 points of smashing to the bottom damage on Astartus.
All right. I imagine I land on the shield edge on.
Right. Thonk. So
I think that makes 3 of us at 1 hit point.
Oh yeah, you guys are worn out. Okay. And the sea spiders come scrambling after their beloved meal, which means Baldo, you can make your grenade roll.
All right. Oh, bless you, dexterity.
All right, look at that.
As I fling the flaming oil, I say, Astartus, did that hurt? It looked really painful.
Ow.
So 5 damage right off the bat.
Boom.
And you smell roasting sea spiders. And the ones that remain, some of them come out, burning and try to scuttle down the thing, and the ones that are burning soon lose strength and perish, and others that were not burned that much are still burning and are going to suffer some as they come out. But they go scuttling down the rest. They're still healthy, which is not a great many, but they go scuttling down the side, and that's all the movement they can do. But they're close enough to... Hold on, are they close enough? Yeah, I'm going to say they have to actually be in your square to swarm you and devour you.
Outstanding. All right.
So they're not quite close enough to Astartus to start to eat him alive. And Key, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I'm going to stick with Sacred Flame.
Yes.
It hasn't worked yet, but maybe this time.
I have faith in you and your god.
I keep just getting 1 damage if it works.
Yeah, hey, a convert.
Yeah, but okay, but they rolled poorly on their save, so you see one of them, 1 or 2 of the things light up with the power of Sahayaak and turn over with their long legs twisting up in death. And Thalus, it's your turn.
How many are left?
Oh, just a handful, but they're stupid and hungry.
Are they still on fire?
Some of them are, sure.
I will move back there, and I will hurl an oil, one of my oils at one of the ones on fire to hopefully catch all of them in that as it expands out.
Yeah, okay, that'll work. So make an improvised ranged attack roll is what it comes down to. So you add your D20, add your dexterity modifier, but don't add your proficiency
18.
modifier. 18 will definitely do it.
Sweet. Okay.
So they start cooking up, and the fire seems to be engulfing most of them at this point. And Baldo, at the top of your turn, you had set them at 4, which means the last of them that was moving, they kind of, the last of them kind of creeps up on Astartus, about to clamber over him, flaming and biting and hissing, and then it just folds over and dies, and and they're all dead and cooked now.
I look over at it and I crawl like 6 inches farther away and then fall back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we're in a good place to rest. We have dinner. I've cooked for us. And
I think we cooked the meal together.
It was a group effort, totally. But I feel like maybe we need to get our wind back. And by wind, I mean it'd be great if all of you weren't so close to death. I'm sorry if I seem gleeful. I'm just really happy that for once, everything's coming up Baldo.
Where's Muck?
He just flapped over to the top of that ledge and is looking around, seeing things are safe. Is like flapping down from the ledge over to the bones all around the statue to enjoy the gold.
I think we need to race over there and.
Yeah, you're all in among the bones yourselves.
I'm gonna try and sort of push him back a little bit and say, no shiny,
Pretties.
No pretties, no shinies, guys. Gather gold, and I'm going to instead hand him one of the burned spiders and say, delicious.
Okay. So Muck looks at you like you're insane, and the rest of you, if you're scrambling for gold, can attempt, let's say, dexterity saves.
I'm gonna second wind first.
Okay.
So D10 plus.
Does this count as coastal? So it's a favorable condition.
Yeah, sure.
23.
All right, natural 20 for you. Well, way to go.
You got a 1 on your D10, Aser.
That's terrific. I get 2 points.
Roll 20 hates you, Astartus.
Yeah.
Okay, so Thalus, you managed to scoop up like 12 gold pieces worth of coins at the best spot, and Astartus has a pretty good dex save as well and scoops up another 6. Who else is scooping? He. Yeah, that'll work. So that's not, so that means you all, the three of you, managed to scoop up all the gold within reach by the time Muck realizes he's being played and heads over to start sniffing around and searching for himself.
Okay, have at it.
All right.
So a total of 24 gold pieces you've kept out of his mucky hands.
While he's rutting around, I'm going to look in the remnants of the statue and say, Key, you smashed this thing open. I hope there was a point to this.
Is there candy in it?
Well, I thought there was treasure in it, but it doesn't look like I was right.
I think the real treasure was our friendship.
I don't know if we can sell that.
We can't sell that, but and that's because it's priceless. So is there anything in the statue other than where the skeletons were hiding out?
No, the inside the coral stuff of the statue is just more coral stuff.
Okay.
Can I just have a chunk of it as a souvenir?
Sure. You can have as much of it as you want.
I'm going to take a chunk as well. I think that's
Okay.
a great idea.
Right.
We can use this as I'm getting an idea for maybe running a scam with this. In fact, I'm going to pick up 3 fist-sized chunks of coral. That's
Okay.
that is my thing here.
And I tell if it's still growing after they've picked it up and putting it in their bag.
Yeah. Did you do a nature roll earlier looking this thing over?
I did.
Was it a good roll? I just don't remember.
I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah, probably at the base of it, at the heart of it, it's still growing, it's still alive. If you can call coral alive, it being kind of conglomeration of or accumulation of tiny organisms all working together and excreting bone around themselves.
Okay.
I would really like to take a long rest.
That would mean spending the night in this cave.
Mm-hmm.
You know what happened last time? We stopped moving for too long, right?
Oh, let's check the floor. Is this part of the cave got more of the spindly things on it?
Like those black spines? No.
Yes.
No. There was like a patch of those in the previous cave that you came through.
I'm thinking about the grabbers in the skeleton cave, or in the fishman cave, the little Velcro tendrils.
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't see anything like that.
Did we take a long rest last session?
No, you took a short.
Okay.
So
I kind of want some of my high level spells back before we get closer to a boss fight.
I kind of feel like this is a good place to do that. There's only one exit or entrance. We've neutralized the threat. We've actually got, if we want to try and eat the spiders, we've got some meat.
we have a chicken.
Whoa. No. I soothe the chicken. Me and the chicken, I'm going to try to calm the chicken down. No.
Okay.
At this point, I've got a vested interest in keeping this chicken alive.
He's a chicken. He gets quiet again once, pretty quickly, and does not hold a grudge as long as you give him some more corn to eat or something.
What's the roll hit dice mechanic to get hit points back?
So if you take a short rest, then you can spend a hit die and roll that to get hit points back, which I think some of you did. You didn't, Thalus, because you weren't injured. I think everybody else did last time.
That's right. I have no hit dice left to spend until a long rest.
All right.
So when
my hit die now, then.
So taking a short rest means you settle in for a good while, and just try to, recover.
Okay.
I think the long rest would be a good idea. We could just post a guard, and everyone else can rest up.
At one point, Thalus, you, as you're sitting down, describe what you're taking your initial rest looks like that short rest, an hour or whatever it is.
I drop my pack. I take out a blanket. I spread it over the ground, and I put my armor on top of that, and then I sit into a meditative position and I meditate for an hour.
Right. Okay. So the rest of you, as Thalus is doing that, what are the three of you up to?
Bandaging wounds.
I'm going to see if I can eat these cave spiders. They're they seem like a kind of half a crustacean, anyways. So I'm going to see if if the cooked sea spider is edible.
Okay.
Oh, does Thalus get his strength point back?
We'll see. Key, what about you?
I am going to sort of kneel down next to my pack and light some incense and do some praying to Sahayaak, pleading that they don't welcome us into their embrace quite yet.
Okay. All right. Very good. So let's see. Astartus, you're bandaging wounds, and Baldo, you're cooking and eating. Astartus, you're the one that notices underneath Thalus's blanket, like you can tell that Thalus's blanket occasionally sort of ripples and moves as if there are things underneath it.
Thalus? Do you have something in there?
No.
Ready? I take the spear and flip the blanket over.
Okay. I mean, Thalus is sitting on it, but you can flip a corner of it off.
Yeah.
And you see some part from the floor, between sections of carapace. You can see these long tendrils kind of trying to reach out towards Thalus, but they're not piercing through the blanket.
That's just terrific.
Okay.
Baldo, give me a Constitution saving throw.
All right. I now see this might not have been the greatest idea.
Okay, so with the 6, after eating some of the meat, you initially start thinking it's it's kind of like crab meat, a little more disgusting, but maybe it's. And then the vomiting starts.
Yep.
And, and it just takes a long time to stop.
Right.
Which means you're going to be poisoned for the next long time, which being poisoned means you have disadvantage on attacks and ability checks.
It was too good to last. All right.
So everybody sees Baldo, taking his meal and then soon getting really, really nastily sick.
Oh boy.
So
okay.
after that time, Thalus, you get your hit points
eat
back.
The spiders.
So yeah, Thalus, you get. You already rolled for it, so you get 6 hit points back. Very good.
I can totally not eat the spiders. You just need to ask.
I should have. You're right. I should have.
So that's the question: is are you all trying to settle in and rest for hours here to regroup, regain your strength?
If we want to rest, we may want to go outside of the cave.
Yeah, where these little spine things aren't.
Yeah.
And if anything, we should try to figure out if the spines happen outside the cave, because if they do, who knows what's happened to the crew by now.
All dead.
Well, it's pretty clear we're not going to get a long rest here. We can rest for a little bit, but we're not going to. Spending the night in the cave's a bad idea. I have a funny feeling that's how some of these things that we've run into have met their end.
Yep.
So I'm just going to try and soldier through the vomit.
I have a question about my oath. Was it I wouldn't leave the caves or I wouldn't leave the island?
I think it was you swore to give a blood sacrifice of one of your crewmates to the temple. So I don't think the timing was really an issue as much as, so the island, to answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't want to make Sahayaak mad at me by sleeping outside.
So you guys want to go completely out of the caves and camp on the outside of the caves?
Yes.
Or we just push on to the last one. You take point, and we see what happens.
No, everybody's too weak right now. I don't feel good about that. Key's only got she's hanging on by a thread. Look at her. She's bloody, she's battered, she's beat to hell.
I know. That's why my original idea was that we go outside. But if you want to push on,
no. I see the wisdom. We can set a fire. We can. Yeah, let's do that. If we can backtrack, let's do that.
Okay. All right. So you can gather your things up, clamber up that rope, help each other up to the, and out through the, around the cave that the center of it has those weird spines growing out and hoping to pierce you, but they're danger now, so you can elude them. And you beyond that, you pass through another cavern with many tunnels leading away from it. You kind of see and smell the cave to your right that you passed that had the fishman that was the dead fish zombie thing that was so terribly dangerous. You pass through Muck's little cave, which has a couple of other tunnels leading off of it that you haven't explored. And when you get that far, Muck goes back over to his and you're clearly moving onward. He goes back over to his big patch of mud and settles in to take a rest of his own. And then up through the tunnel, the cavern where you found the altar that had the vines and funguses coming out of it that you had to fight off. that first cave that you came through and fought the crabs around another grotesque, hideous statue, and nothing disturbs you as you're retracing your steps all that distance.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground.
I'm looking forward to getting up to the top and finding out that the entrance is sealed shut.
You may be happy to learn that it's not.
And is it
possibly more than one?
Is it daytime or nighttime when we reemerge from the caves?
Oh, does anybody remember? I think it was.
We went in the morning.
Morning, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, it's still daytime. I mean,
okay.
It's been a long day, but it's still, it's probably late in the day now. The sun is kind of sinking low and coming to that golden hour that makes the ocean look especially beautiful.
Well, let's light a fire and let's not be subtle about making sure that it can be seen in case they'd like to come and check on us.
Okay, so where are you camping? You're at the center of the island, where that long jagged spire reaches up, and you sort of followed strange trails to get there. The ship and the crews are on the beach.
Is the ship visible from where we are?
Not from where you are, but you know how to find it. I mean, you could get back there in just a few minutes.
Shall we head all the way back to the beach?
I think there's probably strength in numbers.
All right, so we'll head back to the boat.
Also, maybe we can swap that chicken out for another one. that chicken is earned
a respite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. The chicken is probably way safer in that cage than it is handing it over to the cook. But that's up to you guys.
All right.
No, we got Thalus with us. They'll know not to mess with the chicken.
All right.
I'm inclined to take it back at this point. I feel like maybe there's a use for it yet. So.
All right. Fair enough.
All right. On the beach, are any of the sailors still on the beach?
Yeah. I mean, there's still work going on. They're repairing the ship, in shifts. And they're I think probably most of them are working on repairs on the ship while there's daylight. So they're the cook and a few others are helping the cook on shore, preparing food for when night falls.
Okay. We're going to make a kind of an entrance, we're not dead yet, that kind of thing.
All right.
And see if we can get some food and some grog or some ale and some fire and some agreeable company.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can shake some of the crap of the caves off of us.
Yeah, you get all of that, and of course your crewmates want to hear all about what you found down there and why you're all covered in blood and gore and slime and whatnot.
Does anybody have performance as a skill?
No.
It falls to me. I will attempt a rousing tale of heroism, of bravery, of monsters twice the size that they actually were, pitched battles, the heroism of the chicken. I'm going to try to work all of that into a compelling campfire story. And here's my performance roll. Well,
okay. I mean, under the circumstances, it's not, roll it with advantage because you just came out of what was obviously a horribly dangerous situation, and it was all filled with weirdness. So, yeah, all right. So that's rousing and compelling. So everybody, you have a captive audience, and your crewmates are chilled and by your terrors.
Very good. And to wrap it up, I'm going to essentially say, so tonight we sleep. Tomorrow we'll go back to the caves, see what else is to be found there. If anybody would like to come with us, I can't promise you that we'll all make it out alive, but I can promise you that your stories will be sung from the bow of the ship for as long as she sails across the seas.
Oh yes, yeah. Like half of everybody commits to going in there and being brave.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
They commit now.
Right. Right. There's still some drinking to be had. So, I fully, yeah. Okay. Well, if there's nothing else to do, then I am going to get some sleep and try to get my 2 hit points back and maybe regenerate my hit die.
All right. So the evening gets dark and you all get cleaned up and scrounge up clothes that are less torn up and bloody and nasty, and bind your wounds and have decent food and settle into rest. Actually, Baldo, I forgot you're poisoned, so
I am poisoned. Yeah.
Yeah, your performance would have been the lower of those 2 rolls anyway, but we'll overlook that.
Well, it was still masterful. It just was interrupted by a lot of vomiting.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of
okay. So as you settle in and rest, you each, once you get good and asleep, each separately have experienced astonishingly vivid and confusing, horrifyingly violent dreams of the deeps and monsters within it, and the drowning of the surface world and all who live upon it. Do any of you have inspiration?
Key had it.
Yeah.
Okay, you lose it from these terrifying, horrifying dreams.
Darn it.
And each of you tell me, what is your passive wisdom saving throw score?
13 for Key.
11 for me.
All right. What about Astartus?
It's 13 as well.
14 for me.
Okay. So Baldo, your dream is special.
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll do here is I'll go ahead and describe everything that Baldo experiences privately, and all of you other players, put yourselves in Dungeon Master mode and pretend you're not hearing any of this, unless Baldo decides to share it with you later. So, Baldo, your special dream, you kind of go through all of these terrible nightmares, which are made all the worse by, of course, you're physically ill, and but then you get up and take a few steps aside to be sick into the seawater. Then you head back and go back to sleep, and you have a dream of a woman, a young human woman who stirs you on the beach, and you come awake and sit up and see all of your friends still asleep, and she wears a long flowing toga sort of robe, and has dark skin and dark eyes, and that are very bright, and shining black hair, and she sort of reaches out to you and touches your face very gently, and says, I admire your courage and the wits that you've expressed, that you've shown going into that terrible place.
Who are you?
So she sort of looks at, holds her hand up around and says, I am part of the sea. She says, the temple is dangerous, awfully dangerous, but it's a place of great riches and power too. It could be yours, if you want them. Do you want them?
Yes. Yes, I want the powers and the riches. Mostly the riches. Yes.
She smiles and says, I can help you claim them. I need only a favor of one kind or another in return.
What favor do you seek?
You will have to leave a gift in the innermost temple, the innermost nave at the heart of the caverns. A gift of one of your companions. It's a hard gift to offer, but the rewards will be mighty. Or, if you prefer, you can offer yourself. Pledge yourself, body and soul, to me, and claim all of the riches that you will find there.
Wow. That's awfully tempting. I can't betray my friends, though. I'm sorry. That price is too steep.
She looks around at the others and kind of looks at you quizzically and says, these frail, temporary things, think you that they'll stand by you any length of time? That they can offer you more than I could?
They already have. Each one of these people have saved my life at least once. You've shown up on the beach with empty promises. Don't get me wrong. You're very attractive, and I fancy you. But
so her expression hardens and says, "You should know, nothing that I promise is empty. Think clearly now. Make a choice that will be wise for you in the long term. You could have many, many great years of prosperity and fame ahead of you if you come to me."
I say to her, I'm already serving one master, the captain of the ship. I don't like it. I chafe under these chains. They're meant to be broken. I'm invoking my ideal here. And I'll not be forged and tricked into another compact. Even if it means giving up all of your power and your riches, I'll go my own way. Thank you very much.
All right. So she kind of leans back and gets this imperiously arrogant, disgusted look on her face, and says, "Then come back to the temple and claim what you may by your wits and your courage, and see what you leave there of yourself, after all." And then she reaches forward to touch your chest over your heart, and it's like there's this thunderclap that only you hear, and you come startled awake, gasping, with no one there, of course, except your companions.
Am I still sick to my stomach?
Yeah. That's gonna be with you until, probably halfway through the next day.
That's a shame. She was really pretty. Okay, I'm going to look around. Is everybody else still asleep?
Yes.
All right. I'll
Even though some of us only need 4 hours of trance, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so Thalus, you're now so just to make sure, to make really clear, the way that the rules work is you still require 8 hours of rest to get the benefits of a long rest, just like everybody else, but it doesn't have to be sleep, right? So you can be alert and seeing things or whatever, but you're not going to be, it's not like you only require 4 hours of rest to get the benefits. Does that make sense to you?
Well, I was looking at the D&D Beyond sheet and it said you don't need to sleep, but you meditate semi-constantly for 4 hours a day.
Right.
And you
Yeah,
gain
but
the
there's
benefits the human does for 8 hours of sleep.
yeah, it's a. I'll look it up again. I had this whole exchange about this recently on Twitter, and there have been some things that Perkins and Merles have posted clarifying that. But what it amounts to is you don't need 8 hours of sleep during your 8 hours of rest. You only need 4 hours of trance, and then you can presumably use the other 4 hours as you wish, but you're still resting to get the benefit of get your hit dice back and whatever else you're doing.
Can't be imperiling your life and limb for those extra 4 hours.
Right.
But you can.
Yeah, which is it's weird, and I think it's kind of a boneheaded rule, but that's the official rule.
It doesn't seem like it's a tangible benefit in that case.
Yeah. Okay, but in this case, Thalus, you're awake and alert enough that you see Baldo come gasping awake as he does.
Wow, that was interesting. What are you doing up?
I'm always up at this time, and I'm doing what I always do, which I have like a small pile of books next to me, and I am basically journaling the entire experience that we had in the caves, describing the monsters and drawing them out.
Neat. I kind of watch him do that for a second and go, if you got a minute, I got something to add to this. I just had a really vivid dream. And I explained to Thalus what the gist of the dream was and how it didn't seem like the usual dream where you're just kind of on rails and rolling around, but I was able to interact with this dream, and when I said no, it got weird. So I'll tell him the thrust of what occurred.
Do we see if anyone else seems to be having bad dreams?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's having bad dreams. Nobody has come awake so suddenly, feeling like their heart was in danger the way Baldo did.
And when you look at the rest of the crew, does it appear that any of them are having bad dreams?
Yeah. There's a good bit of kind of mumbling and tossing and turning.
Yeah. Okay. I will. I'll see if there's any dregs of beer or wine, and use it to sort of chase my my bad taste in my mouth and try to get some sleep again. I'm gonna try to salvage the rest of this rest.
Yeah, no problem. And you're about your wounds. So, yes. Are any of you proficient with the healing skill?
Key, can you heal? Or medicine?
I'm not proficient with it.
Skill. Okay. So the ship's surgeon, Kiambarorio, is a Sunlander explorer who is signed on to the Heart of Gold as a surgeon because he's got extensive healing medical skills. So what I can do is make a medicine roll for him on behalf of Key and Baldo for before you went to sleep to see whether he treated your festering wounds well enough that they're no longer festering.
Very good.
And that is in so for Key, that's definitely a success. So no longer a festering wound for you, Key.
Awesome.
As he smears painfully stinging things all through your injury, and by way of cleaning it out. Yours is still pretty bad off, Baldo, unfortunately.
I also have an internal injury.
Yeah, and that's gonna be there until you spend a good long days and days and days just resting and recovering.
Okay. All right, very good. All right.
So after your long rest, the next day you come around. Baldo is still sickly for a few more hours, but you all get the benefits of a long rest, which means all your hit points come back. And Baldo, you, however, because of the festeringness of the wound, your maximum hit points drop by 1 until you get that wound treated properly.
All right.
So you recover your maximum, but your maximum is 1 lower than it should be.
Got it.
That's my point
you
of
get
strength.
Spells. Your strength does return, after the long rest.
So I'm going to just note here that it's 9 minus 1. So my current hit points are 8.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very good.
Captain Harrian finds you, as you're sort of, you're resting, you're sharpening weapons and repairing your gear and your armor through the morning as Baldo slowly recovers his ability to walk around without puking. And Captain Harrian comes over and finds you, Baldo, because you're so poorly off, and says, "Are you going back in there?"
I signed on to do the job. I'm going to do it. I mean, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. I feel like I owe the ship.
Well, all right. Good luck then. She doesn't try to talk you out of it, but she kind of goes away,
Oh,
shaking
Captain,
her head.
If I die, you'll think fondly on me. Yes?
Of course.
Well, that'll have to do. I'm gonna go ahead and strap the short bow in, and add that to what I'm taking with me.
Okay.
I'm also going to ditch the pound of crab meat because it seems like a really bad idea in retrospect.
All right.
There's no one on the crew that you don't like?
There, not that badly, no. So that's going to go away, and I will keep the chicken with me. So.
Okay.
All
right. So in the afternoon, Baldo is well enough after all of his vomiting to get by, and you're prepared. You can brave the Temple of the Sea Demon again if you wish. Is everybody heading back that direction? Do you have other preparations you want to make?
No.
I'm good.
Cleaning my armor. Seems like there's probably a lot of things I'd rather not have rotting on it. Just dip it in the ocean, I guess.
All right, then you kind of walk under a scorching noon sun to the cavern that leads into the temple again. And I guess we can maybe leave it there. That sounds like a good stopping point to me for the evening.
All right, we'll pick up refreshed and ready to go.
I wonder if Muck will remember us.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Muck loves us. Hey, while everybody's getting ready, just before we cut, I'm going to go ahead and fill the other two in on my dream and explain to them. Yeah. I'm going to, with each retelling, though, she's going to get more attractive and more interested in me as the story grows, because I just can't not add to it.
Yeah. And in fact, hold on, let me look at your sheet, Baldo. Where's all your stuff? Rather make a new friend, freedom, something important. If there's a plan, I forget it. So you can have, what I recommend, Baldo, is the Player's Handbook recommends that everybody have 2 personality traits. So if you want, you can put a second trait in there about something to do with over-exaggerating everything to look impressive and awesome. And that would be worth gaining inspiration when you have the opportunity to do it in an entertaining way.
Okay.
You probably should have agreed with her. I mean, one of us is going to stay here dead. That's part of my oath.
Oh, Key, I didn't even think about that. Of course, we could have killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
I know.
Or in this case, one of us with 2 stones. Wait, how does that work? What's the exchange rate on human souls? I get it. I get very confused about that.
Well, let me tell you about our favorite Dark Lord, Sahayaak, and their thoughts on human souls and their values.
I have added my other personality trait. There isn't a story I won't embellish in order to make my exploits more interesting.
Yeah, that sounds good. And that goes for everybody. If you have only one personality trait listed, feel free to put another one in there, because each of them is potentially a source of inspiration when you find ways to bring them into play. So, all right. Well, everybody, thank you for playing. That was great fun on my end.
Yeah.
I'm just happy I had some roles work. I'm really excited for Rachel to hear this, because I really think she's laid pretty even odds that I'm not going to make it through the rest of the adventure.
Right.
I know, and you came out of this one doing the best, except for the vomiting.
Except for the it was my own fault, you know. I'm always about the weird food.
This episode of Arc Dream Presents was recorded on Zoom and Roll20. Special thanks to Mark Finn, Chris Spivey, Aser and Megan Tolentino, and Shane Ivey. Links to their work can be found in this episode's show notes. If you enjoyed this episode of Arc Dream Presents, be sure to subscribe and give us a rating on iTunes or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. This episode's music is 5 Armies by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com under Creative Commons. Visit filmmusic.io. For more information about the Swords and Sorceries series, visit swordsandsorceries.com. Arc Dream Presents episodes are produced and edited by Rachel K. Ivey of A Minor Film School and are copyright Arc Dream Publishing.